Hey, Alexia.
Hey, Foster.
Happy Friday.
TGIF.
Thank God it's Friday.
Yay.
Do-
Rainy Friday, cold Friday. I'm not complaining. I'm happy.
Did you know that TGIF is also a very famous chain restaurant in the U.S.? Do you guys have that in Brazil?
I don't know.
It's just like a typical, like, Applebee's, kind of Outback.
I don't know. I don't know. In Rio, I think we don't. I don't know about São Paulo and other cities.
Yeah, it's not that good. Haven't been there in a long time. Anyway, thank God it's Friday, and thank God this is the last time Alexia has to read part of the...
Bless you.
We're leaving it in. Leaving it in.
Bless you, amor.
Thank you. When you sneeze, quando você espirra,
Mm-hmm.
we say bless you.
Bless you.
Yes. Yes. We
Que
do.
Deus te abençoe.
Exactly. It would be very strange if you said health and nothing else. Anyway, guys, we are getting on with the show, finally. So, for the last 2 days, we have been talking about an article from Business Insider. This article is about a company called Treehouse that is experimenting with new business models and working hours. I think it's very interesting. There's a lot of interesting vocabulary. So what we are doing, if you're just joining in today, is Alexia is reading a little bit of this. We're reading it together. Then we're stopping to talk about vocabulary, pronunciation, and also just some of the concepts presented in the article. So with that said, take it away, Alexia.
Okay, so let's do this. And similar to the way Zappos is experimenting with eliminating traditional managers, Carson decided in July 2013 to get rid of management roles. Instead, each morning, employees decide among themselves which projects they will work on and how they will choose to collaborate.
Okay, good. Still early, so maybe in the next paragraph a little bit more intonation, a little more liveliness. But first question, do you know what Zappos is?
No idea.
Whew, you would love Zappos. Zappos is a very, very cool shoe company.
Mm-hmm.
They're one of the first online shoe companies. This is what I love about America. You don't hear me say that too often on the podcast. But Zappos, you can order as many shoes as you want, free shipping both ways. You can try on whatever shoes you want. If you don't like it, just send it back.
So I can without paying anything?
I mean, you have to pay for the ones you keep.
No, but I can ship it back without paying for it.
Yeah, every time I get new shoes, I order like 3 or 4, and then the ones I don't like, I just ship back.
How could you only tell me right now?
I'm pretty sure I've told you before. You just don't listen to me.
I would remember a name like this.
Yeah, it would save us a lot of time if you knew about that in the past. So, something that I love is the CEO of Zappos. He wrote a book. I can't remember. I think it's called like Selling Happy or something. But his famous line is, he says, "We are a customer service company that just by chance sells shoes." So it's not about the shoes for them. It's just giving you the best experience.
You know
ever.
that after this episode, I'm going to Google Zappos immediately.
You could do that, or you could just go to Zappos.com.
That's what I'm doing.
Okay, either one.
Uh.
Okay, so Zappos is experimenting with eliminating traditional managers. Do you understand what it means, Alexia, when they say they decided to get rid of traditional management roles?
Se livrar.
Yeah, more or less.
But not in a like horrible way, but to not have anymore.
Yeah, exactly. It's just to stop doing it, to throw out, to throw away. You could even say like, hey, do we still want these cookies or are they old? No, get rid of them.
Yeah.
Right?
Pode se livrar, pode jogar fora.
Exactly. Anything else in terms of vocabulary?
Nope.
Yeah, I think that one's pretty easy.
Okay.
Okay, just a few more paragraphs. Let's do it, Alexia.
Carson told The Atlantic that a 4-day work week combined with a hands-off management approach is attractive enough that he's able to hire some of the top talent big tech companies vie for.
Nice. Do you understand what vie for
No,
means?
I took a chance here because if I said vie wasn't right at all, so vie would be the perfect one.
Nice. That was a good guess. It was correct. So this is not super common, but vie for really just means compete for.
Mhm.
And we almost always use that in terms of talent, especially with business. Like top companies are vying for the top graduates from the best schools or athletes. You could use that, but not super common.
Okay, could I say like my company is vying for, or is only like this?
You could say that, but I don't think you would ever say that or ever need to say that.
Okay.
What about the phrase hands-off management? Hands-off management approach. Do you understand that?
I do. It's like, yeah,
It's a podcast.
let it be, right?
Alexia's just waving her hands. What do you mean, let it be?
Like the management won't touch the client. The client will do everything. Things like that. The management won't bother the client that much.
Okay, I think you're on the right path, but I think when they are referring to hands-off management, they are talking about management within the company. So hands-off management would be the opposite of micromanagement. So if you have a micromanager, that is your typical boss who's always looking over your shoulder, like, hey, what are you doing? Did you send that email? Hey, what are you doing now? You know, they're really controlling all of your time.
Mm-hmm.
A hands-off manager is just like, okay, Alexia, this is your project. Go do it. I don't care how you do it. Just finish it by Thursday.
Okay.
Yeah. Kind of like me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I think we're good for that paragraph. You want to continue?
Yeah. While it's impossible to measure the relative effect of the 32-hour week on Treehouse's performance since it adopted it from the outset, the company is growing at a healthy pace.
Great. So, a healthy pace. Do you understand that?
Uhum. Num caminho saudável, a passos saudáveis, digamos assim.
Yeah. I would say ritmo saudável. Yeah. Pace is a good word to know because I say this a lot with language. Like you want to think about the pacing and the pace of the language. That's just the speed, the rhythm. But also when you were talking about runners or swimmers,
The pace, yeah.
we talk about pace. Yeah. What about from the outset?
I was about to ask you that.
Do you have a guess? So we have the phrase, Treehouse's performance since it adopted this new 4-hour work day from the outset.
Do nada?
Kind of. From the very beginning.
Okay.
Yeah, from the outset means from the beginning.
Okay.
Okay. One thing I would like to mention in the word performance, you pronounce this correctly, but a lot of our students want to say performance.
Performance.
Yeah, so we do not pronounce that final E. It's just performance.
Performance.
Perfect. Okay, Alexia, 2 more paragraphs. Let's crush this thing.
Treehouse has over 100,000 enrolled users and nearly 100% employee retention and brought it about 10 million in revenue last year. It has raised 13 million from investors like Dig founder Kevin Rose and Kaplan Ventures. Kaplan Ventures.
Yes. Okay, so where to start? Okay, 100,000.
100,000.
Yeah. really try to exaggerate the TH. I was hearing just say traditional T sound. So you're saying 100,000, but it should be thousand.
Ah, tá. 100,000.
Perfect. Do you understand enrolled users?
Yeah.
Okay, explain it to me in English.
That people who are part of the company, like for us, Inglês no Cru, right? We have Sound School. When we enroll a student, it means that he's part of the Sound School now.
Yeah, I wouldn't say part of the company, but part of the course.
Yeah, part of the course.
So in general, we enroll in programs, we enroll in courses, we enroll in school. Se inscrever. Né?
Yes.
Exactly.
I try to explain in English without saying
you
se
did
inscrever.
a great job. Great job. Okay, it says they have nearly 100% employee retention. Do you understand what employee retention is?
Uh-huh. And no one is get fired.
Okay, no one is getting fired.
No one is getting fired, and no one is asking for to quit the job.
Yeah, or you could say no one is resigning.
Yeah.
Yeah, which I find that very hard to believe. Nearly 100% employee retention.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This BS.
Yeah, I think we can call BS on that one. Okay, we have the phrase... that
But he said nearly.
Yeah, that could be 40%. We don't know. So this is a good phrase. It says they brought in about 10 million in revenue last year. Do you understand what they say with the phrasal verb brought in?
No.
Okay, so this just generally refers to money. And if you're bringing in money, that just means how much money you're making.
Okay. Lucro.
Yeah, well, here we're talking about revenue, not profit. But if you say, like, oh, how's your company doing? And you say, oh, we're doing pretty good. We brought in $50,000 last month. That just means we made $50,000, right? Yeah, I wish we could say that.
We will. Buy Sound School, everyone. Help us to become millionaires.
I'm sure with that very convincing business pitch. Okay, raised money from... Okay, I think we're good for the rest of that. Okay, last paragraph. Alexia, go for it.
Carson told the Post that it's a matter of increasing his employees' productivity over the long term. If you put them in a race with someone for a month, and one works 60-hour weeks and one works 32, then yes, the person who worked 60 hours is going to get more done in that 1 month, he said. No, wait, I'm going to redo it this.
Okay, start over.
Yeah. Carson told the Post that it's a matter of increasing his employees' productivity over the long term. If you put them in a race with someone for 1 month, and one works 60-hour weeks and one works 32, then yes, the person who worked 60 hours is going to get more done in that 1 month, he said. How about in 12 months? How about in 7 years?
Perfect. Great job.
Okay, let's do this. Productivity.
Okay, so this is actually a subject of debate in English. I say productivity. So I'm using the schwa sound and just saying productivity.
Productivity.
Right? Yeah, but for example, one of my best friends, John, says productivity.
So much easier. Productivity.
Yeah, it kind of pisses me off. I just started hearing people say, productivity. You would never say, oh, I'm being very productive. But at the same time, you would say product. So there are cases to be made both ways.
Productivity.
Okay. Alexia, a couple final questions.
Hey, Amo, seriously. Productivity? Is that right? The last part?
Yeah.
I think that my mouth is doing a lot more than it should.
No, productivity.
Okay.
I say productivity. Some people say productivity.
Okay.
Tomato. Over the long term.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what that means?
Yeah.
A longo prazo.
Uhum.
Cool. What about in the final sentence? He says, how about in 12 months? How about in 7 years?
E daqui a 12 meses? E daqui a 7 anos?
Exactly. So how about is a great way to ask questions. Like, for example...
Do you want to go to lunch? How about in 30 minutes?
Yeah. Or how about Italian?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you don't have to say, what do you think about getting Italian food? Say, how about? And if you want to be super American, really cool, you don't need to say how about, just how about.
I can't say what about.
You could.
What about Italian?
Yeah.
No?
More or less
same?
the same thing.
Okay.
Yeah. But what about a lot of times could be what about it. Like if you say, hey, Foster, look at that tree. That's what about it.
Okay.
It's like, e daí, right? How about is like, que tal?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, Alexia, I think that is good for now. We can give each other imaginary high fives. We will stop for now, and then we will do a couple of more exercises and talk about the actual article. Pelo amor de Deus.
Perfect.
Okay.
Okay.
We will talk to you guys soon.
Bye.